My name is Mario for Cos Spirit, and welcome to the channel. So today is going to be my spiritual movie review of Disclosure Day. But before I get into that, I'd like to wish all the fathers out there happy Father's Day. And with that, let's get on to the Disclosure Day. There's bugs around here, but yeah. So I'm gonna review it like in two parts. So the first part is gonna be like the entertainment part of it, just like simply the movie part of it, and the other part is gonna be like my spiritual perspective on this. So so for the entertainment part, I thought it was pretty good. I don't think it was as good as E.T. or the Close Encounter of the Third Kind, I think it was called. I don't think or Gremlins, another Spielberg movie. I don't think it was as good as that because it didn't have that major hook. I think to me the movie, if you're a part of the UFO community, in my opinion, you'll probably see that as, yeah, we all know this, we all seen this. Basically, what he did is take all the stuff that's been on social media and made it into a movie, right? If you're not into the UFO community, then you'll see it. I think you would see it differently. How you would see it, I wouldn't know, but I think you would see it differently, right? So yeah, so basically, I thought it was pretty good. They had some good humor in it, and yeah, they had some good action too. So some good, like I'm sure you saw it in the commercial if you haven't seen the movie. The part where the train is pushing the car and the one guy's trying to pull the girl out, this and that. So like they had parts like that. They had some good action. So yeah, you had good action. Yeah, you had good comedy. But then there's other parts where it's kind of like even Glenn Beck caught onto it. Like there are parts where the one guy is hiding from the bad guys, and he's hiding behind a fence that's got gaps like that in between the not the post, but whatever the planks of the fence, and and then the bush has no leaves on it, right? So and I remember sitting there and I caught on and like. All they gotta do is turn around, they'll see him, right? He's like crouched down, so they don't see him, right? There's that there. There's a part where him and this one girl, they're like driving, they're being chased, right? So they end up almost going over a cliff. So they stop the car, right? So then they both get out, and then the girl goes, wait. She grabs a rock, and automatically he knows. Oh, she's gonna put the rock on the gas pedal, so I'm gonna put it in drive and make it go over, so they think we went over, right? And I'm like, here's a girl that was in. By the way, I may give some stuff away if you haven't seen it before, just so you know. But here's a girl that was in the process of becoming a nun, and then she stopped. So this girl that was supposed to be that was gonna be a nun, but that ended up stopping. In that middle of all that chaos, knows to grab a rock, and he knew what she was. And then even if that's true, what you do that, just run away, not then to go hide behind another rock and wait for the so-called bad guys to show up, right? And then they leave, like. And Glenn Beck mentioned that too, about the rock, not about the gas pedal, but about the rock there. And then there's another part where. Like what happens is, like I said, if you guys don't want the movie to be spoiled, you probably wouldn't want to watch this. But the way the movie works, I'm not gonna explain the whole thing, but like the guy you probably saw in the commercial, that has the thing in the mouth. You see, he's kind of like, and he's got things on his head. He's like freaking out and all that. Well, what he's doing there, he's in a sense, trying to get into the one girl's head or her body, right, to try to control her. So once they figured that out, at one point they're staying in a hotel, and I see him taking stuff off the walls, right? And because now that him and that girl, they're in a hotel, and by this time they've realized that he can do that, this other guy can do that, right? So I see this guy taking the stuff off the wall, and I'm like, well, why is he taking that off? Then And then the girl comes out. She goes. She gives him the strap for her house coat. She goes. You're gonna have to do this because you know what I mean. Like I cannot be trusted. So he ties her up, right? So then you see in the middle of the night, she opens her eyes, but it's not her. It's the other guy that got into her head, right? So she uses her foot to move the guy's hand. And then the guy's hand, you can see, was one of the papers that he was pulling off the wall, and it has the name of the hotel. So now he knows where they are, so he knows where to send the bad guys to go find them, right? But I'm like, well, you knew this could happen. You take all this stuff off the walls, this and that, and yet you hold that in your hand, like. So I don't know. Like to me, that was a little not really good script writing, right? So yeah. So basically, it was just those things there that I thought were kind of like whatever. You guys should wrote something more intelligent instead of doing that. But anyway, so basically that was it. But overall, the movie's pretty good. I'm not. It's not a waste of money in my opinion. I'll be watching it again once it comes out on YouTube. But yeah. So anyway, so putting that aside now, I want to talk about my spiritual perspective of this movie. So. And I've talked about this in other videos as well, if you've been watching me for a while. But like this movie is supposed to be about a benevolent being, right? And this being is want to encourage the human race to be more empathetic. Okay, so this is what this movie is about. You know, this alien being is not a bad being. You know, it's a good being. It's benevolent and wants to teach people and be more empathetic, be kinder to each other, stuff like that, right? So if you have a movie like that, where you want to spread this message, what I don't understand is how is it that you are dropping 2 F-bombs and the word sex in this movie, right? The two do not mix, okay? So it's one thing I've talked about before. What I'm noticing now in society, the F-bomb is becoming the same as I love you, right? It's like, you know what I mean? It's like just normal language, right? So David Icke was talking about how he sees this as being a psyop. He possibly is right, but I see the psyop as well. Just I'm going to talk my version of it. I'm not saying he's wrong on his perception of it, but I'm just talking about my version of it. The psyop is this. The movie, in my opinion, Spielberg and a lot of all these people are trying to dumb down society. Now, how are they doing that? Well, you bring in this movie about empathy and this and that, and you're dropping F-bombs. Empathy and benevolence is a high vibration. F-bombs are a low vibration, right? So what are they trying to do? They're trying to create people that are supposedly smart, right? To have all these intelligent words to say and this to say and that to say, but they have no substance. They have no character. They have no street smarts, right? People like that you can't control because they're not real. To me, it's an example that is, you know, for the guys out there, you probably know like that really hot girl that you decide is like, you know, she looks amazing, this and that. But then you start talking to her, you're like, what? You know what I mean? So she looks good, but she's got no substance. So it's the same thing here. They're trying to dumb people down, right? They make them look smart, right? They get everybody talking, saying all these fancy words. But do you really want to hang out with these people? Are these people really free? Are they really making free choices? Are they just saying what someone told them to say, right? So that's where, to me, that's where I see the psyop happening, is that they want to be able to control the human race, right? So they give you some intelligent stuff, right? You get you thinking, but at the same time, they're dumbing people down with this kind of language, right? And even like in the one, I saw just like a little thing about Emily Blunt was being interviewed by a girl, right? So this girl, I guess I don't know who she was, but I guess she's probably some like some children media thing or whatever, and she was interviewing Emily Blunt. So you would think that Emily Blunt would dress dress appropriately for this situation. No, she's got her breasts hanging out. Like she's going clubbing that night. So this is what I mean. They talk about benevolence, right? And they talk about empathy, but yet she's sexualizing this child by exposing herself the way she is, right? So that's where, to me, the psyop is. There was no big hook in the movie. Basically, they were just talking about some like just saying positive things, but yet bringing a lot of darkness as well to keep people, you know what I mean, to act smart but not really smart, right? I got a bunch of fancy words, but you can control me because I have no character, can't think for myself. I'm only saying the words that you're telling me to say, right? So anyways, yes, I think I'll leave it there. Again, I'm gonna watch the movie again to see other stuff that maybe I missed, but at the end of the day, that's the way I see it. I'm seeing it through all other stuff in our society. Yeah, people are analytically smart, right? But their characters, right? Their street smarts just aren't there. They can't really think for themselves. They really have no substance. So anyways, we'll leave it there. Have a pleasant day, and we'll see you next video. Bye.